Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99, and I'm back with another breakdown prediction video. Alright, y'all. I kept y'all waiting long enough. We're a week out from this fight. UFC 261 is going down this Saturday coming, so I'm here finally with my breakdown prediction for strawweight champion Zhang Weili versus strawweight contender Rose Namajunas. Now, lots been going on, leading up to this fight. There's been a lot of other controversy going on, but I'm going to keep it strictly based on the fight with this breakdown prediction and my keys to victory, because it's something I was working on before the controversy happened. So you know how I do. I'm going to go through my keys to victory for the champ and the contender, and then I'll give you the breakdown how I think it'll go. Then I'll give you my prediction. But yeah, man, long time coming for this fight. Zhang Weili, she's been at action for over a year now, since the Joanna fight. And Rose Namajunas, she's getting back into action after a close rematch with Jessica Andrade just this past summer. So yeah, man, they've been trying to get this fight made, for a minute now. The fight was going to be made in China or Singapore, but finally they settled on Jacksonville, Florida. They wanted to do it as a big opening for, bringing crowds back. So yeah, here we are, man. Zhang, like I said, I was telling some other people, she's looking forward to this fight. She's been looking forward to this Rose Namajunas fight. She's been wanting to take this fight, defend her title for a second time. She wants to be a consistent champion. Rose Namajunas, she's looking to be that two-time world champion. She wants to refine that flame that, a lot of people question. So we're going to see if that transitions into this fight, if she's going to have that type of energy. So yeah, my keys to victory, first off, for the champion, Zhang Weili, control the pace. If you want to start off fast in this fight, start off fast. Get Rose off of her rhythm, press the action to her. Or if you want to make it an inside grueling fight, do that. Go on the inside, press the action early, make Rose Namajunas think, make her exert her energy, or make it an outside fight. Stay on the outside with your striking. Make it unpredictable for Rose. If Rose thinks you're going to stay on the outside, she's going to get into that. She's going to get into that striking position where she thinks she's going to be able to outstrike you, but you might just switch up the rhythm again and go on the inside. So you got to control the pace of the fight, switch it up and down, change the rhythm around, keep Rose off of her own rhythm, of trying to set the pace of being a boxer and the striking in this fight. I think Zhang Weili setting the pace of this fight is really going to be a big key to victory for the champion. Next, break the foundation in the core. After watching a lot of Rose Namajunas fights, I've noticed that the one thing you have to do to Rose Namajunas is chop the foundation. You have to chop the foundation in the core. You got to hit her with body shots. You got to hit those legs, because Rose Namajunas, she's a good outside fighter, but she's not as durable as fighters like Jessica Andrade or Weili herself, or even Tisha Torres or Joanna. So when you hit her with those big shots to the legs and to the body, they will move her. You will get a reaction. And if you continue to chop her down like Jessica Andrade did in their first fight, you will get her stationary, and that'll leave her a sitting target. So for Zhang Weili, start off at those legs, start chopping the lead leg down, and then start hitting with some front kicks to the body, side kicks to the body, slowly break her down. Similar how, like I said, Jessica Andrade did, and even Karolina Kowalkiewicz did. You got to go to that foundation, because you go to the foundation early, that'll make her a stationary target. Because Rose, though she is a good, accurate striker from the outside, she's not really a physically strong fighter like the fighters I mentioned in the past, like Joanna and even Tisha Torres. So break the foundation in the core. Next, control pressure. You want to control the pressure. You don't want to go straight in, and you don't want to walk into any big shots from Rose Namajunas. You want to keep that pressure at mid-range, where you can still duck the leg kicks of Rose Namajunas to stay out of the way of the jab, but at the same time, you want to keep that pressure in her chest and make Rose feel boxed in, make her feel cagey, so she continues to back up to the fence. Then eventually, boom, you can catch her, get those underhooks, and take it to the ground if you want, or just fight her in the clinch and make it a rough and ugly fight. Which leads me to dogfight. This is going to be a big key to victory for me. I feel like Zhang Weili is more of a dog than Rose Namajunas. I mean, Joanna is also more of a dog, but those two styles were different whenever they were matched up. Joanna and Rose became more of a chess match from the outside, but Zhang Weili, she's going to be a fighter that's going to want to take it on the inside, and I think that's where Zhang needs to be in this fight with Rose continuously. Throughout this 5-round fight, or however rounds she needs to make this a dog fight. Stay in the chest of Rose Namajunas, beat her up, rough her up, get those underhooks, try to ragdoll her, and continue to foot stomp, knee those thighs, whatever she can do. Use that head to control the fight, and put that head in the chest, do whatever you can do to make this a rough and ugly fight. Use your wrestling, use your grappling, and continue to throw her off rhythm on the inside, just like a dog fight. And next up, last but not least, the left hook. I love the left hook of Zhang Weili. I like how she sets this punch up. She'll set it up behind some her leg kicks, You know, she'll throw those leg kicks, and after that she'll step into the pocket and throw that left hand, and it'll crack you right on the chin. It's like one of those shots you least expect. You think she might throw a jab or a straight right hand, but the way she steps into the pocket and catches you with that left hook, it can throw any fighter off. And she was able to rock Joanna a few times with that shot, and she caught Jessica Andrade with that shot as well. So this is going to be a big punch that she's going to need to set up nicely behind her jab, or, you know, follow it up with a straight right hand. And I believe if she lands that left hook, she will get the results that she needs. So next, the number one contender, Rose Namajunas. Keys to victory for Rose Namajunas. Number one, my favorite punch, what do I always talk about? The jab. Establish a jab in this fight. It's very important that Rose Namajunas keeps this fight on the outside and establishes that jab. You want to set that pace with the jab. The same way Joanna was able to do with Zhang Weili. You want to keep that opponent that's much shorter than you on the end of that jab, because if you continue to pop away at that jab, it'll kind of confuse that opponent and throw him off a rhythm, because that shot is that punch is one of those straight, simple shots that can just throw a fighter off because it's so simple. And while they're trying to get away from that jab, boom, the right hand comes. So continue to just pump that jab out at different rhythms. You want to switch levels, go to the body, go to the head, and continue to use that jab as a rangefinder, and use it as an offensive weapon as well. You know, you want to bust your opponent up by throwing that jab out there, and it'll open up the power shots like the right hand or the left hook. Next, range. Keep it on the outside. Like I said, Rose Namajunas, you know, she's one of the better fighters on the outside, one of the better boxers in the strawweight division. So continue to just use that footwork, step in and out, step out diagonally, and just keep the fight on the outside. You know, just fully extend your punches in this fight. Don't try to make this an inside fight whatsoever. I feel like Rose Namajunas is not physically strong enough or physically capable enough to be in a dogfight with Zhang Weili. So keep the fight on the outside, keep it in range. Just work your straight, long shots in this fight, and stay on the outside and use angles and just throw Zhang Weili off. The same way she was able to do with Joanna in their fight. You know, just box, box, and box. Next, earn respect. Use that accuracy and that timing in the variety of striking and just your overall experience of being in the UFC to earn respect from Zhang Weili. You know, if you continue to land those technical shots, your opponent will respect you, because they'll have to overthink and they'll say, oh, I don't want to get hit by the shot anymore, so let me step to the side and kind of think of another way in. And while they're thinking, you continue to just pop away with these straight shots. And you also just switch up different angles, throw 1, 2, 3s and move out. And when you get that type of respect, next thing you know, it's the second round, it's the third round, it's the fourth round, it's the fifth round. Your opponent continues to just stay on the outside because you earn that respect. So you definitely want to try to earn that respect with the accuracy of your shots, and just continue to box and use that experience in the octagon until you can eventually stop that opponent, or until the last bell rings. All right, next, make her pay for her mistakes. You know, the one thing about Zhang Weili, I know sometimes, you know, her striking doesn't look the most technical. I know she's been working on it leading up to this fight. But, you know, looking at some of her striking positions in the past, she can kind of be off balance. She can be knocked off balance. I've seen Tecia Torres kind of kick her to the body and knock her off balance. Danielle Taylor, she caught her with a few shots, you know, knocked her off balance. So you want to make a fighter that can sometimes come in reckless. You want to make them pay. So anytime that Weili tries to run in and land some big shots, be prepared to be that matador. Step to the side, step out at an angle, and catch her and make her pay. If it goes to the ground, if you see any openings, if she gets sloppy in the guard, lock in that triangle, go for that armbar. Make her pay for those mistakes. Last but not least, focus. Don't try to be pretty for just 1 or 2 rounds in this fight and then just slow down and then try to cruise your way to a decision. Remember, this is a 5-round fight. You got to be focused for 5 rounds or until you get your opponent out of there. And that's the one thing about Rose Namajunas. In the past, many people know her reputation is that she's a fighter that can lose focus or fall apart in the mid part of the round, right when the getting is good, and then boom, she could lose a fight. She's done it in the past against Carolina. She's done it against Tecia Torres 2 times, which I still feel like Tecia Torres beat her in that rematch. She lost focus a little bit in the Joanna rematch. Jessica Andrade, both fights, you know, whenever she was winning, she lost focus, and then boom, she got hit, she got put to sleep. So this can't be a fight where she loses focus at any time. You got to be perfect for 5 rounds against a fighter like Zhang Weili. You let up just a little bit, she will capitalize off your mistakes. So you got to be focused physically and mentally prepared for this type of fight. So with that, man, looking at my prediction on how I think this fight will go, I think Rose will have her moments early on with her boxing and her striking. I feel like the first couple of rounds she will be picking her shots, and she may even rattle Weili. Don't be surprised if she rattles Weili a few times in this fight when Weili tries to step in after throwing like one of her leg kicks. If she tries to step in with her left hook, just know that Rose Namajunas boxing will be on point. She may catch her a couple of times with some pretty good 1-2s, or maybe a 1-2-3. Rose will land those type of shots. But eventually, I feel like Weili will continue to establish her leg kick from the first and second round on. If she continues to establish those leg kicks and those calf kicks, she will go to the body and start landing harder kicks and eventually break Rose down. And I think when Rose starts to go stationary from eating a lot of those shots, that's when Weili will take it to the fence. She's going to go into that clinch, and she's going to try to make this a rough and ugly, dirty dog fight. And I'm already pretty much prepared to see how Zhang Weili does on the inside whenever she gets those underhooks. Unless Rose can really rattle Zhang Weili, if this fight stays standing on the inside in the clinch, it's going to be a very dangerous fight. So I can really see Weili even taking this fight to the ground. And when she takes it to the ground and she gets into that top position, she's going to use that physical strength to pin Rose down and keep Rose from transitioning or trying to slip out or get an arm bar or trying to slip and get the back of Weili. She's going to use that strength to keep her down in side control, and she's going to grind and maul that forearm and use those elbows to really bust up Rose. She's going to grind it across her face. I know that's part of her game plan going into this fight. And the ground and pound, I feel like it's going to be too much, and I think eventually Zhang Weili will stop Rose Namajunas in this fight in the third or fourth round by TKO. So yeah, that's how I think this fight's going to go. I think that Zhang Weili will put that pressure on. She may get caught a few times. Rose will box her for the first couple of rounds. She will box and outstrike her for like maybe the first 2 rounds. The third round might be competitive, but all the while, Zhang Weili will continue to get her shots in. She will go to the body. She will land a few straight shots here and there. She may rattle Rose with a good right hand, but I can really see Zhang Weili just starting at that foundation, going to the legs, going to the body, and then when Rose becomes that stationary target, she will press forward. And she may press forward even when Rose has her legs. She might press in and grab those underhooks and take this fight and ragdoll Rose to the ground in this fight, wind up on top in similar fashion how she did to Tisha Torres and Jessica Aguilar. When she gets into that top position, that side control, and she puts all that weight and strength on you and you can't transition, then it's pretty much over. She's going to use those forearms and use those elbows to maul you and just beat you up until eventually the referee may have to step in. And that's how I see this fight going. I got Zhang Weili winning by third or fourth round TKO. So yeah, man, that's my breakdown prediction for this fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. Whatever way it goes, I think it's going to be a good matchup, and I think it's going to be a solid fight. I don't know if it'll be fight of the year, but it's definitely going to be good, especially when it's matched up with this other flyweight title fight between Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade. We're going to have a good night of fight, guys. And yes, I will be doing a fight companion for these fights. I'm going to just do the championship fights, these 2 fights, and probably the Usman Masvidal rematch. I might do that, guys. So yeah, that's my prediction for this fight, y'all. We can talk about it more this week. I'll probably do some more live streams. We can talk about my keys to victory there. If I see any other points or any other weaknesses, any other strengths about these fighters, I'll talk about it up till fight night. That's it, guys. Let me know who y'all got, Zhang Weili or Rose Namajunas. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.